Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. This is just going to be a super short video of an unboxing and testing of a nib that I purchased recently online. I will leave the links to purchase down below, but of course this video is not sponsored and I have no affiliate links, so I'm not earning anything from the seller in making this video. I purchased the Zebra G nib made of metal and a Tachikawa nib holder that's made of plastic. The nib holder has two circles, as you can see, so that it can accommodate nibs that are much smaller than the usual nib sizes. And to use with it, I opted for the Zebra G nib, which is listed as a calligraphy nib. And this nib just slips into the slot in the nib holder. It's very easy to install. Now let us try out using these with an actual ink. I want to try it out with this Alice ink from Wearingeul. I have an unboxing and swatching video of this ink, which I will link down below. This ink is a light blue with a golden shimmer, so I am shaking it to mix the shimmer with the ink so that the handwriting samples will be shimmery. And then it's just a matter of dipping the nib into the ink and writing with it. Although this is not my first dip pen. Aside from the glass pen, which is also a dip pen, I also used to have a Browse blue pumpkin nib, which I used for some ink swatching years ago, and I also used to use it for journaling. I will leave some links down below of my old videos showing me using that Browse blue pumpkin. But over time, it rusted, so I threw it away, and now I am trying out this Zebra G nib. And this time I am using the plastic nib holder from Tachikawa, like I mentioned. My previous nib holder for the Browse Blue Pumpkin was made of wood, and the slot for the actual nib was metal. That, too, developed rust along the way, and the wood eventually started falling apart because of all of the swishing in the water. I threw that nib holder away as well. That time, many years ago, I did not know that nib holders also came in plastic, and I like this nib holder. I think this will last longer because it will stand up to water and ink better. And I like that the grip is fat and I can hold it at the very end, which is just like how I hold a fountain pen. I grip fountain pens at the very end of the section. That's still comfortable for me. And there really is no need for any complicated instructions for this. Just dip the nib into the ink and you should see that little hole in the nib carrying some ink, and then write with it until the ink runs out, and then you dip the nib in the ink again. That's why it's called a dip pen. You keep dipping it. You can also flex this nib just a little bit, which you can see calligraphers do on video, and the effect is just so beautiful. I have a friend, her name is Lorraine Marie, and she's a professional calligrapher, and she has a YouTube channel. I will link her channel down below so you can see how calligraphers use different kinds of nibs, and of course everything she does is just beautiful. And even if you don't do calligraphy, it is very relaxing to watch. And I think this nib is okay. I cannot say anything more about it except that because it writes okay, and I can only use my normal handwriting with this, so I only expect this nib to do that for me, nothing more. And for that purpose in my writing life, I can say that this nib does fulfill that purpose. This is really what I bought this nib for, and so far I can see it's gonna work. And what I really am impressed though is with the nib holder. I think it's really good. The shape of the nib holder, the length, the size, the width, or the girth, they are perfect for my tiny hands that do have experience with dip pens but have no expertise with dip pens. My use of dip pens is really very basic. I can totally journal with this. The Tachikawa also has a version with a cap. The Tachikawa has a nib holder that's made of plastic and it has a matching plastic cap. but that one is more expensive, and I didn't buy it because I do not plan to bring a dip pen out of my room anyway. And when you're done writing with it, just rinse it with water. I mean, you have to take them apart and then you rinse them with water. Once again, I'm using my little spray bottle of distilled water so that I won't have to walk to the bathroom. I have very low energy right now, you guys. I have not been well. This spray bottle of distilled water is actually what I use to mist my face with before my retinol at night, but I'm not even doing my skincare at all. Anyway, once the nib and the nib holder are already completely free of any ink residue, you can towel them dry, and then it is best to leave them out on top of a desktop separated and wait for both of them to air dry completely before putting them together again, or you can also store them separately. And that's it. That's my video for you today. Thanks for watching. Bye.